Oh my goodness. Okay, y'all, check this out. Check this out. We like to have fun and stuff and everything. Try to bring ball is beautiful. um Ali Kala got a beautiful got beautiful hair. And I don't know who she talking to, but hey, we're gonna get into this video and feel free to jump in and say something and say pause. Well, don't say pause, say stop.
Say
Pause
stop.
is that anyway. Check it out, man. Let's let this bad boy run a little bit. Without any further ado, let's check this bad boy out.
You know what I've heard you talking about, and just before we even get started, I admire your courage in coming forward with this information.
Thank you.
Giving a voice to so many people. Oh, the echo's back, Ali. Oh no, we're all right. So I guess I'll introduce what I know about you, and then you can get further into it. So you were a child that was by your own mother given up to authorities for sexual acts.
Yes. My bio mother was always involved and dated the authority that was around me, whether that was a principal, a campus security guard, a doctor of mine, someone on a child protective services case, and that includes a chief of police that was coming into my room at night when I was 13, 14.
How young were you when this started?
CPS reports say that I was 3 months old. I remember as far back as to when I was 4, the first time that I was in shock from something that happened to me, the first time that it was just too much for me to handle. And at that time, I didn't know, it was so much that was already in the family. And I was always told, what happens in the family stays in the family. We were always taken away from certain people if we talked too much. So there were so many things going on within the home, from her and other people in the family doing so many illegal things, besides doing things to their own children. So it was something that I always felt there's something wrong, but I was always told it was normal what was going on. But yeah, I was about 4 years old the first time I was assaulted, raped. I was with my babysitter, and this woman as well had many connections to what I call my surrogate. I don't call her anything close to a mom. I have a real mom that I'm adopted by now, but I don't call her anything close to a mother. But she was involved in many ways. I was with a babysitter that kept trying to take me into a room, that kept trying to get me to lay down with her boyfriend. And that's the one day that I remember fighting. I remember screaming so loud. I thought I was 6 years old, but looking back into legal documents, I was 4. And I remember after being hurt, I was locked in a room and I was beaten because I was fighting. And then I was put outside to sit in a driveway for hours because I was told it was my fault. After that, it was taken to court. It was the first thing that I remember that was taken to court because the bruises were so bad. Everything that happened was so bad that it had to be. And the court case, I remember sitting in the courthouse, and I remember her losing the case and it being my fault that something happened to me. So, from there, things continued, and, being 4 in a court case and not knowing why you're in trouble for somebody hurting you. Moving on from there, I was confused about everything that happened. Is this okay? I started asking questions when I hit elementary and middle school with other students, like, how do you get in trouble? Is this something that happens to you? Because it was always something that happened to me. I was always told I was the favorite. I was told I was the one that everybody loved more, and nothing about that was love.
So to clarify, this is actually on record with Child Protective Services that these things were happening to you. And this is why you ended up in foster homes.
Yes, this was one of the reasons. I, going on, I was abused so much that I was working in strip clubs by 12 years old. I was very confused. But to be honest, because I didn't know any better, I was very hypersexual as well. And by 13, when, because at first it was just her boyfriends coming into my room at night. And then when the police officers came into play, they were taking me in my own closet and hurting me with the hangers and the things that were in my own closet. And then, I started running a lot. I started fighting a lot. I wanted to kill myself. I didn't want to kill myself. I wanted the pain to stop. So I tried everything because it was always my fault. It was always something that I did. It was always, they loved me more. And this was something that I deserved. And after I started running so much with her dating police officers, married police officers, he started calling his friends to pick me up. He started calling his friends to meet me somewhere. They would pick me up as an officer on duty, and they would take me somewhere behind rocks. They would take me to empty car dealerships and park their cars the wrong way. No one questions them. No one, anywhere, everybody can say, no one questions the police. If you see them sitting the wrong way, if you see them doing something and you see them with somebody, you automatically assume that they did something wrong and that the police are going to fix it and that they're there to serve and protect. And that's not always the case. I know that there are some good officers, but they're very few and far in between. And
God, dog, man, I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine? When she said it started when she was
it
like,
was her mom, her biological mother, anyway.
right.
That, and I can almost put money on the fact that her biological mother was probably on drugs.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
that usually goes hand in hand because nothing else makes sense. I mean, it doesn't make sense anyway, but usually
Man.
when someone has a very bad drug habit, they will sell anything, including their children, to feed that habit.
Right. That's crazy. 𝗗𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗦, how you doing, sir? You back again?
I'm back, but my StreamYard's acting stupid.
How you doing there?
It is. Hey,
Just loaded. How you doing?
good. How you doing?
This is just so disheartening listening to this because I wasn't familiar with this case. I've heard the name popped around, but I just try to avoid this dark stuff. It just disheartens you.
Right.
Like I said in the last time I was on, it's all the Sabbateanism. It's throughout the system. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna keep going for a little bit, y'all.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Wait a minute.
And that the police are going to fix it and that they're there to serve and protect. And that's not always the case. I know that there are some good officers, but they're very few and far in between. And there's another side of the badge, and it's called the Freemasonry Brotherhood Police, the Freemason cops. And they do a lot of corrupt things. They bury a lot of things. They bury a lot of evidence. They do things and they get away with it. And covering up for elite pedophiles to low-level pedophiles. Everybody looks at the top, but covering all the way from the top to the bottom and in the middle, they cover for these people. They make sure that nobody asks any questions. They make sure that this is something that is silenced. It's made to look like it's someone else's fault. And after so many times of fighting them, being arrested and put into cars to be used, they would bring other girls, they would bring other kids. And I never met anybody else when it came to them. It was just they were bringing other kids. After so long.
Sorry, Ali, these Freemason police officers, do they exist everywhere in the world?
They exist everywhere. And unfortunately, it's in every department. It's everywhere. There's another side to the badge. There's always been another side. And I know that it's existed way before me. And unfortunately, I think it will exist after me, because no one is brave enough to say anything. No one is brave enough to clean their own house. And even if you are someone on the force, if you try to acknowledge and if you try to turn somebody else in that's on the force with you, you get harassed, you get hunted down, you get stalked for the rest of your life. And this is what's happening now. After I spoke about them, we have gotten pulled over in every single state with no ticket, no logical reason, just harassment. 8 different states, excuse me. We've got pulled over in 8 different states with no ticket, no logic, just where is your car? What are you doing? How long will you be gone? We had someone make a house call and told me they were watching my Instagram and they wanted to make sure that I didn't press charges on someone who decided to hop my gate back in California and tried to come into our home.
There's a bit of an issue with the sound. It's I'm not sure what's going on. It's better now. It was just crackling quite loudly. So this is you've essentially been on the run now for some.
Right. Okay. Since it was crackling and stuff, Michelle and other people were saying, wait a minute, it started when she was 4 years old. Did y'all hear that right?
4 months.
I mean, 4 months.
Is it 4 years or 4 months?
Michelle
4
said
years.
4 months.
Well, at least 4 years when it came to that court case.
Okay, her memory of that court case
even earlier, because probably a lot of stuff blocked out, just from the trauma, right?
Yeah, but I think they said they had, CPS has a record before then that I guess she didn't know about it, and maybe that's where the 4 months or 3 months came from. But I'm not quite sure what. I don't think I want to know what you're doing with a 4-month-old or a 3-month-old. So
what I'm saying,
that's definitely a serious drug.
All right, here we go, y'all. Put a 1 in the chat if you heard months, like 4 months, or put a 2 in the chat, or put a 4. I guess, 4 months in the chat, or 4 years in the chat. Put a I don't know what to say.
Put a 1 for 4 months, put a 2 for 4 years.
Yeah, put a 1 for 4 months, put a 2 for 4 years. So Jamie's saying 3 months that you heard. Maybe we got to start all over. Should we start all over since somebody just got here without a note?
I think she said 4 years here, but it's possible that there's other stuff that predates that. So,
wow, 1, 2. Okay, we're gonna talk about it. Let's just keep going. I don't want to keep stopping it too long.
Time moving from place to place, and I want to get into that. But I want to ask you. So these corrupt police officers, these Freemason police officers, the other side of the badge. Is this the reason why the abuse continued when you went into foster care? Because essentially, from what I know from your story, the abuse didn't end with your mum. It continued well into when you were, a child of the state. So can you tell us about that?
Yes, sorry.
It's okay.
After so many times at 13, I went into the hospital for a month for trying to kill myself. In that time of being in the hospital, I kept trying to talk to everybody. I kept trying to tell them, well, they were coming to me and saying, hey, you have to talk to us. And I'm like, you guys don't understand. I've tried to talk since I was a baby. I've exhausted everything and nothing is coming of it. There are people strategically placed everywhere. I was thrown into solitary confinement because of so many things that were going on within the hospital as well, that I was seeing for myself. And it's crazy because so many things were placed in my life that people know me before I know them. I was put into foster care at 13 after my time in the hospital. I thought that everything would calm down from there. I thought everything would be okay. I thought it was going to change, and I was going to be able to go to school and everything would be fine. And that was not the case either. I thought that I was getting into things on my own sometimes. Like I said, people were strategically placed in my life that I never knew who they were. People would walk up to me and say, oh my gosh, you look so beautiful all grown up. And weird things like that I don't know who they are. I don't have a picture of me as a child. I don't know who certain people are or who most people are. And being put into foster care, my foster parents were paid off by pimps. I started talking to some people thinking that I was talking online or, doing things myself. And met up with some people who turned out to be pimps, but they already knew me. I thought I was in a relationship with someone. I thought they loved me, they cared about me. And my foster parents were paid off by them. I'm sorry, my mind is just like,
take your time.
Thank you. Sorry.
Don't be sorry.
In my time in foster care, I was in foster homes to group homes that I lost count. I went to 19 high schools in 1 year. I never stayed anywhere long enough to have a home, longer than 2 weeks to a month. At one point, my foster parents didn't speak any English. I was put into homes with teenage male siblings, foster siblings. I was in homes where my foster parents would try to do things to me. My foster dads would try to do things to me. I would talk to my social workers. I was hushed and moved again.
Do you believe that these particular homes that you were put into were people that were also potentially strategically placed, people that were known child abusers? Yes.
I never went to one foster home or one group home that wasn't reported because of something bad happening. And it's shocking. I know somebody is like, well, I know some great foster homes and some great foster parents, and there are, but not for me. And I feel like CPS knows where to strategically place people that they want to continue raking in money for. I was deemed as a high-risk kid. I was a problem child. I was someone that you received more money for because of the issues that I had. And I was a runner. I had a lot of things going on. And my social workers they were always covering things. They were always afraid of the repercussions because still what my last name used to be. So they were complicit. My schools were complicit. My pimps that were taking me places during the day or during my time in school were making sure that my schools were marking me present. That automated
sound issues again. I don't know what it is, Ali. It keeps happening. It's like a really loud rustling. It's gone now.
It's gone now?
Yeah, it just keeps happening. I'll let you know when it happens.
Okay, it's weird because it's not happening on my side. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. So, there's an automated that calls home for schools and to tell you that your student may have been tardy in class or absent. And I was in schools where I was strategically marked present, even if I wasn't in school. I was able to go back and forth to school sometimes. So some days I was sitting there, but my teachers were bullying me as well. My teachers knew about what was going on. My teachers tried to participate in the things that were going on. They felt like if somebody else was hurting me, it wasn't a big deal if they take part in it.
And from what I
Wow, that's
understand,
crazy.
from what
That
you've
is
said
crazy.
as well, that some of these teachers facilitated in you being trafficked, which is what started happening to you. Underground tunnels leading you to different places. And
Yes.
you're saying teachers facilitated this process.
Yes.
Could you talk about that?
My major high school, one of the major high schools when I was 15, Carter High School in Fontana, California, was marking me present. I started trying to speak to guidance counselors, to my teachers, trying to tell someone, hey, can you guys help me? And I remember a guidance counselor that tried to speak to the SRO, the school resource officer on campus. And the school resource officer's response was, I know this person. I know the pimp that I was with. He kept saying, you know, I talk to him all the time. I'll just fix it. I'll just talk to him. After my guidance counselor turned in pictures, tried to call my social worker, was talking to my mom that adopted me now. She was suspended and then eventually was fired without any reason, and someone else took her place. There are underground tunnels that are under the schools, elementary, junior, and high schools all over the place. They exist everywhere.
You've been in
I'm
them.
sorry?
You've seen
Yes.
these, been in these?
Yes.
Where do
Yes,
they lead?
they lead to amusement parks, they lead to hospitals, cemeteries, schools, celebrity homes, psychic shops. They lead everywhere.
You mentioned in one of your previous interviews that it's like a whole other world down there. Can you describe it to us? What happens down there?
Yes, there's every means of transportation. There's every walk of life. There's cities. There's different air supply. There's at 15, my pimp put me on an order to go to the Getty, Los Angeles, California Museum. I was told I was going to walk through a field trip. I was taken with another girl. I call a friend of mine, and we were put in dresses and sandals. We were taken in a sports car. We're not taken in a sports car. We pulled up to the museum in a sports car. We were told that we were trying to give a different appearance. So we were walking through, I remember walking through kids. I remember walking in and seeing school buses. I remember walking in and seeing children and chaperones through the museum. And I remember people staring at us as if it was as if we were somebody special. We walked through the museum. There are employees that know exactly what's going on in the museum. They block the doors. They know where the entrances and exits are. They take their orders from someone else when someone is trying to get underground through the Getty Los Angeles Museum. I was walked through. I remember taking stairs, going through a garden, taking an elevator. I was drugged, but I was walking. There are many situations in trafficking where you can be alert. Some of my pimps did not let me see where I was going. Sometimes I was so drugged that I was carried into a job, dressed, and then placed in a room and waiting for my order because I couldn't move myself. So at this time, I was able to walk. I was able to see what was going on. And I remember walking through. I remember talking to certain people after we got so far. I remember my ears popping. I remember feeling like I'm choking because the air was so weird. We got to a certain point and there was, it looked like a basement. It looked like where they keep things that were not public display in the museum. And after getting so far, we were in tunnels. We were put on cars, drove to a certain point, far. I seen I seen cars, boats, there's trains, there's buses, there is every means of transportation under the ground. There's a city under the ground. There are there's a different air supply.
She has said that
Twice.
Yeah, she said on another video and everything that she keeps saying there's all types of transportation under the ground. So I mean, I'm not saying that she lying or anything, but Jesus Christ, you only see stuff like that on the movies. It's like,
Yeah.
If it's a boat underground, that means there's a lot of water underground. Trains.
Yeah, I mean, outside of the boats, I can see everything else because I think about the New York City subway system, which is mostly underground. And these are trains that are underground, and you can have trucks down there and you can have cars down there because, they go down there to, fix and do stuff. So I can understand that concept of it. Now, is it possible they have water that backs up in there, like, a river or anything because, for a boat, you have to have some sort of water that goes through there.
Yeah, Denise is saying that I heard the tunnels are everywhere, all over, in all countries. I heard that too. I was like, I cannot believe. And Ron and his channel, they started, oh, Mike, yeah, you got to see that. So he started pulling up videos and showing me. He said he's gonna send me some videos he never did. So we're gonna have to hunt that down. I'm really interested in this tunnel thing because I think that's the first way they are moving these kids and moving people around through their trafficking, because you can go to a house or a school or whatever, like she was saying, and you can take a tunnel and you thinking that you watching this house and they've been gone. They gone into other places and you still keeping an eye on this house. So the tunnel thing is very, very important.
Yeah, I think the one thing that I've heard, and the reason why I kind of believe this is, from what I've understand, what they've told us about World War II was a lie. And, the fact of how it ended with the, ending of his life and this and that. But actually, the real part was that he actually got away because he had underground tunnels and he actually had an underground airport. And so he had it to where the runway was underground and ran underground. And by the time that the plane took off, it was up and out. And they say that's one of the ways that he escaped and then went to, I think it was
who escaped?
the man that caused World War II. I don't want to say him.
The mean mustache man.
Huh?
The mean mustache man.
Yes, the mean little mustache man with the ulcer.
I know who y'all talking about.
With the ulcer, yeah.
Right. But I want before I forget, VB, I wanted to address one of the things you were saying about underground rivers. As a kid, I grew up rural Pennsylvania area, rural Pittsburgh area, and I used to go spelunking in the old closed mines and stuff, and I've seen underground rivers.
Yeah. So like, I guess, was it Pennsylvania, West Virginia has mines over there too. So I wouldn't be surprised if they could back it up. But I mean, underground cities is not new. That's how, they said in Vietnam, that's how they won Vietnam, because they were, dropping on them, but they were under the ground. So they weren't, phased by it. So
with the movies and everything. All right, let's
Honeycombs,
keep moving.
Japan.
I'm sorry.
Same concept.
Yeah. All right, let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. God, this is crazy.
There's trains, there's buses, there is every means of transportation under the ground. There's a city under the ground. There's a different air supply that kicks in after you get so low.
And who goes down there?
After getting down there, I talked to a few people. I was able to meet celebrities, actors. I'm not a person that knows somebody just by name or by face or right away. I was somebody who remembered somebody from a movie or something like that, or something that they did. I was able to speak with somebody that was so cocky. And I remember telling him, I know you from Look Who's Talking. That's all. And I remember everybody laughing at me because I was 15 and I'm like, the only thing that I know you from, John Travolta, is Look Who's Talking. I know there were many comedians, Kathy Griffin, Robin Williams. I was on an order for Joe Biden. I was taken to somewhere where there were there was an orgy party. There was a contest going on. There's a certain part that has a shrine where I was taken, and what I mean by shrine is it was bones. It was things that have happened to other people. They take shrines. They take like a trophy, whether it was a ripped shirt, panties, hands, pieces of flesh. There's a smell that you can't even flinch towards down there. But you will. There was shrines.
Are they used for any type of rituals?
Yes, they're used for a lot. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I'm like not talking right. I'm sorry. Yes, there were shrines used for rituals. There's bloody places. There's parts where there's limbs. People cut off limbs and want you to have sex in it. There's blood. There's blood that I don't even know who it belongs to. There's a lot.
So hang on. So someone like the people that you've named are here at these shrines where there is human flesh, bones, human body parts, and they want people to participate in orgies in amongst all of this human blood. Is that a satanic ritual? Feces? Is this a satanic ritual that they are participating in?
Yes. Yes, there's people who want to, there's people who have sex with animals, dead animals. I was taken and told that I had to give a blowjob to Biden.
So Joe Biden was there at this shrine.
Mm-hmm. Something happened. I don't know what happened. I was down there for a while. There's certain people that you don't talk about because you just don't. There were certain people that I seen down there, from Beyonce, Jay-Z. You don't tell on P. Diddy, but P. Diddy.
So you said you don't tell on these people. Is that like a code that all victims adhere to? They don't talk about this stuff?
Yes, you don't, because nobody's gonna believe you. You're nothing to them. You don't count. You're just a toy. You're not essential, as they call them. You're expendable. And as a child in that situation, I wasn't the type of person that was fighting all the time, because I started to learn who I was. I started to learn my pimp. I started to learn what I was in. I started to learn that you don't fight. You watch what you say, you watch what you do. And at some point I stopped fighting people, and I started to accept the fact of what I was told, that I was special enough to be with this person. I was special enough to be in the eyes of a celebrity or somebody who's on the radio or on TV. And I accepted that. While I was down there, there was something that happened. I don't even know what to call it. There was something that sounded like an earthquake, something that sounded like people got into a fight. There was a shooting. I was taken from one room to another, and then from there, someone left me there. I started moving and trying to get out of where I was. I was with the friend that I came in with, who was freaking out. She was hyperventilating. She was crying. She was trying everything to get out, and it made us get deeper in. The lower you go, the harder it is to get out. No one knows where the doors are. No one knows where the exits are. No one knows where some of these tunnels lead to. So it's not as easy to just say, I'm just going to get out, or I'm just going to try to find a way out. If you are walked in, you're escorted in, somebody has to help you get out. After what happened, we had to leave. Again, I don't know what was going on. I'm still not sure what happened that night. Maria, I am so sorry. I am like, my brain is so, I'm so sorry. I don't even know what's wrong with me right now. I'm being honest. I'm like stupid sweating, and I don't even know what's wrong. But I'm fine. Okay.
It's a very, very difficult topic. Can I ask you a question, Ali?
Yes.
How young? It's all right. If you need a minute, take a minute.
Okay.
How young are some of the children that are there?
Babies. There's a baby farm that exists. There's all ages. There's kids who don't act like kids. They act like wild animals.
Did you pause it, Mike? I can't hear you.
I forgot. I found a new mute button. I'm thinking that this when I mute over here and I forget. So now I'm gonna try a new mute button.
If there's a mute button, Mike will find it.
So I found a new mute button. I thought maybe if it's in my face, I could tell that I'm muted. But this is the part that's really bothering me right here, y'all. This is when you're facing defeat, because if there's a baby making farm to actually produce kids to automatically go into trafficking, that's gonna be hard to whip. If they
it sounds like she was part of it,
right? And her mom made her to be into this trafficking thing. That's what it sounded like to me. You know, I could be wrong, but you know, her mother, like you said, may have been, you know, allegedly been on drugs, allegedly got pregnant and didn't mean to get pregnant. Well, the pimp said, well, let's have the baby and we can, especially if it's a girl, even if it's a boy now these days, you know, they don't care. So I feel for her. Yeah, I definitely go. So I feel for her. It's sad. So I'm gonna back it up a little bit, y'all, because I just
How young?
When she said,
if you need a minute, take a minute.
Yeah, take a minute.
Okay.
How young are some of the children that are there?
Look at this. Look at this.
Babies. There's a baby farm that exists.
A baby farm. How can you? It's a baby farm when they raising the babies that don't even. They like animals. They don't speak. They not even. They don't know nothing about school, play or recess. Teachers. They don't know nothing about this. All they know is somebody's coming to fondle me, and that's all they know. That's sad, man. That this type of our life exists, and then you have that type of life that exists for people that don't even they ABCs and math and social studies. They not even going to be introduced to anything like that. Isn't that crazy?
It's kind of like a Truman Show kind of reality, you know. That's the bookmarks of their world.
Did you know that was based on a true story also? That movie Truman, I found that out. I said, oh my God, come on, man. That's a remake of a true event that happened years ago. Man, okay, let's keep going.
There's all ages. There's kids who don't act like kids. They act like wild animals. They hiss at you. They act like wild animals. They've never. I know some of them have been there since probably birth or before. There's children of all ages. There's people who have been there since they were babies, but they're adults now.
And how long do they stay there? Till what age?
I don't know. Till whatever happens to them happens, and whatever their time is. There's baby farms that exist under like wild animals. They've never. I know some of them have been there since probably birth or before. There's children of all ages. There's people who have been there since they were babies, but they're adults now.
And how long do they stay there? Till what age?
I don't know. Till whatever happens to them happens, and whatever their time is. There's baby farms that exist underground. Your hospitals are complicit in giving babies to baby farms. And when I say, I'm talking newborn babies fresh out of the hospital. that people take pride in raping, having sex with, hearing their bones crack, eating, using them to participate in rituals. I've seen a lot of things, and I've seen a lot of my friends die. There's so much that goes on. There's so much that goes on.
And it's not so these particular things that you're talking about now, these extreme horrific acts, this is reserved for the elites, is that correct?
Yes. They get away with eating, beating, torturing, buying children from many places, and it also feeds their career. Selling your soul doesn't necessarily mean selling your soul for money. It means selling out for things that you're willing to do, things that you're willing to sacrifice and compete with somebody else for, because if somebody is known for ripping a child's face off, frazzle drip, and cutting their face off to wear it and mock a victim and use it as a dedication to what they call their God, then people compete with that. Everybody is competing with that, trying to do something equal or worse.
Are they open about who their God is?
Sometimes. Some people will act as if they're a Christian, will act as if they're everyday religion that so many people.
We're having sound trouble again. There we go. That's better. Sorry, go on. Some people act as if they're a Christian.
Yeah, some people act as if they're a Christian or other religions that we all know of, but majority of them pray to someone called Baal or Satan. They give back to Satan. They dedicate to Satan. I was dedicated to Satan. I was buried alive. I was saved and told that I had to give my life to them because they saved me. It's in everybody's face. It's something that happens every day.
You told me the other day. Ooh, we're having a lot of feedback.
Yeah.
Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, the stream's not really. I don't know if it's like interference, Ali, or what's going on, but I'm having trouble now. No, it's cutting out. Potentially the internet connection.
Yeah, I'm mute. I checked to see if I was muted that time, y'all. I did good. I checked to see if I was muted. Hey, I would like to talk to you.
Tiny.
Yeah.
Tiny. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, yeah, definitely want to talk to her. Or
with your beautiful self. I hope that's not an insult if I call you beautiful, because if you've been, I mean, you don't have to tell your story, or you don't have to talk about that, but I just would like to talk to you. Okay, what live? We can talk to you as soon as this is what? If you want to come on today, I don't know. We got 5 minutes.
Yeah,
or whenever you want to. I'm sorry.
If you want to come up, feel comfortable talking to everybody. If not, we can do it behind the scenes too. So
yeah, if you want, yeah.
I'm sorry, what time?
Is that potentially your internet connection?
No.
Not me. I thought it was at first.
Do you want to try to leave the stream and come back?
I think she's probably.
Yep, leave and come back.
Yeah, I think she's by a TV or something.
All right, I'll be waiting.
That's just weird.
Yeah, she's cool. She's like, okay, I'll be waiting. They're on Zoom.
Well, everyone, while Ali's trying to sort out the stream, hopefully she can come back in. I know that this is incredibly difficult for a lot of people to hear. Ali says that she has evidence for this. However, she's had difficulty with authorities actually taking this on board and doing anything with it. She's got reports from the Child Protection Service. She's got photographic evidence, she says. But the problem is that the thing, as I'm sure you'd understand, the things that you're hearing are of such a shocking nature. According to Ali, it's too much for anyone to actually take on. I wonder how many more stories like this there are across the globe. I don't know. If you all just give me a moment, I'll send her a quick email, make sure she's okay. As I'm waiting for Ali to come back, I've read through some of these comments. Which country has Ali's story taken place? Well, most of this has happened in America, though, provided she's able to come back and join us. There is a lot more to her story. Someone else is talking here about the fact that they've known someone who worked in these rings between Russia, Syria, Philippines to Syria, Syrian government officials. It's very real. Someone else saying these things that you're talking about are unspeakable, and that, you know, it's being spoken about as plainly as regular crimes. Well, the questions have got to be asked in that way, because there are a lot of people that may not.
I have said this. Gay. What's that? Guy Fida. I have said this because I heard 3 or 4 people say this. Apparently, a lot of the flesh that is left over gets bought by McDonald's. They even tell some kids this secret and take them to McDonald's after the black masses. The black masses.
Massive.
Yeah. There was a guy I saw something on, I don't know, Instagram, you know, the quick stuff, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff. And the guy had said that this is an older foreign guy saying that y'all have a lot, the United States has the most people, little kids missing. Y'all know what we doing? We taking their body parts and we chopping them up, and all the leftovers, we grind them up and sell it back to y'all, and y'all eat it. We tell y'all this and y'all still eat it. That's what he said. That's exactly what he's talking about. That's what he said. All right.
I'm glad I've been a vegetarian since '87. I'm telling you.
Yeah. And they
That's
said
terrible.
they can't even call it McDonald's anymore. I mean, they can't say two all beef patties. You know.
That's terrible.
So we got where's the name, man? I can't even see the name.
Tiny Titch.
Hey, man.
Hey,
Hi.
Tiny Titch.
Welcome.
How you doing? Wait a minute. Let's see how this is going to end first. Wait a minute.
Hey,
The story.
can you hear me?
People that, you know.
Yes, we can hear you. Let's get to the end of this. It's 3 more minutes.
Would doubt stories like this.
Hello, Don.
Someone else asking if I can please ask Ali what she would like to do, what she would say to those who don't believe her story.
Hold on, I've got a bit of lag going.
Okay.
Ali's not getting back to my email. I wonder what's going on here.
Yeah, I think this is over.
There we go. All right.